no problem. I'm gonna give you 2 minutes more. So you can keep your screen on if you don't mind, saying I can see you, if no. So we're gonna start with a little practice. And then after we are gonna talk more about the course. Okay, so let's do a little bit of Pilates, see how we're gonna engage our pelvic floor muscles and our core muscles. So the core muscles are a list of muscles. There are like many muscles. I can give you the list, but it involves muscles in your neck, in your back, in your legs, in your glutes, of course, in your abs, and your glutes I already mentioned, and the pelvic floor muscles. Okay, but it's kind of difficult to engage all of them globally. Hi, Fiona, welcome. Thank you for joining us. And Cynthia,
Hi.
nice to meet
Sorry,
you.
I'm late. I had to
No,
switch
don't
from
worry, it's just
my
a few
laptop to my
minutes.
phone.
Sorry?
My laptop is still spinning. My laptop is spinning, so I have to go on my phone.
Those kind of things happen all the time. So I was saying about that the pelvic floor muscles include many muscles, and it's hard to kind of engage them one by one or isolate them one by one. So what we need to understand is that the core muscles work in connection. So they work together, and if you connect one area, it's going to connect the rest of the core muscles. Why is important? The core muscles strength, because it's going to maintain our pelvis in the neutral position. What does it mean, the neutral position of our pelvis? Is when we are standing, for example, or sitting. Standing normally, if our pelvis is slightly tilting backwards, that we don't notice because our tummy relaxed, so it's going to have a little arching and compression in the lower back. This is our problems in the lower back because these muscles here, they connect the hips with the ribs, get shorter, and that's where we start to have pain. And the other situation can be here is we tilt backwards, so we rely the weight backwards. So again, the pelvis is not in the neutral position. Or it can be as well sideways. How can be sideways? Because sometimes we stand up just in one way, and that doesn't stabilize the pelvis. So the neutral position, that's mean is that we literally are neutral. If we visualize our tailbone and imagine that from the tailbone we have like a weight hanging. So to find that stability of that weight is that neutral position. And that neutral position is hard to understand because normally we are relaxed, so we can arch our back, or we can engage too much the tummy. Sometimes when we are abs work, we engage too much the tummy, so we tilt backwards. That's why our chest start to close as well. So when we have awareness and strength in the core muscles, we can stabilize the pelvis position. And that is going to give us the right alignment of the spine. When we have the right alignment of the spine, that means our muscles in our daily activities are going to work to support the movement, but it's going to take off the stress in the joints. You know, like how many of us, we have problems or in the knees or in the lower back or in the hips or something. And that is because that no activation of the core muscles, we rely on the legs. For example, when we are standing, okay, let me just move over a little bit. So we are standing, and we sometimes our heels are elevated because our shoes. Let me put my legs a little bit lower. So when the elevation of the heels in most of our shoes, to maintain the stability and balance of the body, is gonna tilt the pelvis. It's like it has to. If not, the body cannot have stability. So then in here, what we are gonna happen with our knees, as you can see, let me just bring it down. So when we elevate the heels and we have this inclination, the knees tend to lock. So all day long that we are standing or we're walking, our knees are locked because that elevation. So that is why we have the knee problems. I don't know if it's happened to you that sometimes we're standing and we start after a while, we start to have like a pain, like your knees get locked and you cannot move. You know, you are standing for a while and it's like it's hard to come back. And it's because the knee joint is being in this position, pressing in this way, that makes the pain and the compression in the cartilage we have. So that's why is the understanding of the core muscles is gonna save us that we are not relying on our joints. Our core muscles are lifting our body. So if we are standing, it's okay. We're using our calf muscles to support the weight. We're using our tummy muscles to lift our weight, and our back muscles are keeping the pelvis in the neutral position. So that is what we're gonna learn today, how one or two simple engagement are gonna connect all the core muscles. Hello, Robin, and I don't know how to pronounce that name. Is Sisha? No. I have one here that I don't know how to pronounce properly that name, which is in Irish. Who are you? Tell me your Samantha. Nah.
Hi, it's Nora. I'm using my daughter's phone. So yeah,
okay. Okay, Nora.
Yeah, don't worry.
That is better.
Thank you.
It's easier. Okay, so welcome, and Robin as well. You are welcome.
Thank you.
So we are gonna start. So you can put your screen. That will help us to see each other and feel more confident. So we're gonna start lying on our back. So I hope everybody are able to lie down on your back. You don't have to put the screen. You can see me. You know, just keep the screen on so we can see each other and we feel a little bit more comfortable when we come back to talk. Okay, so lie down on your back, everybody. Gonna move my screen so everybody can see me. Yeah. So completely lie down on your back and keep your legs bent for the moment. So keep your feet flat on the ground. So at the moment you will feel a little gap between the ground and your lower back. And that little gap is because it's the neutral position of the pelvis. So you are resting your glutes, your upper back, and your head, of course. But it's little gap between the lower back and the pelvis. That is your neutral position. Now, without activating anything, we're gonna slowly be aware of the position you have at the moment in your lower back without doing anything, nothing. This is the most comfortable way to feel your neutral position. Now, slowly, we're gonna slide the right foot on the ground and we're gonna extend the right leg on the floor. Completely, and be aware if there was a change in your lower back. Now we're gonna extend the left leg, keep the feet in the same width of the hips, and be aware if there were change in that little gap between the lower back. Some of us, we feel that the pelvis tilt forward, that the arch is a little bit bigger. Some of you, the opposite, that you feel like your lower back went more onto the ground. Some of you feel that your thighs are tense or tight. And some of you feel like it's quite uncomfortable, that you feel the arching. So we're gonna come back, bend your legs. And if you have any question, you let me know, okay? So bend your legs again, keep your feet flat on the wall, on the ground. Feel again your lower back. There's a little gap between your lower back. You might be able to put like your 3 fingers under your lower back. So try to put your 3 fingers under your lower back. Super. Now very gently, we're gonna have the sensation to press your lower back against your fingers. Okay? So you feel a little bit your tummy muscles engage. Now we're gonna take off the fingers, but we're gonna maintain the sensation that we were pressing the fingers, not the ground. So you are not completely imprinting your back. So your lower back is not completely touching the floor. So still we have certain gap. Don't worry, we have a little bit more a muscle there and the gap is less, that's all right. But it still is the certain gap, okay? Now, we're gonna squeeze our glutes. Remember that our glutes are part of our core muscles. And we're gonna have the sensation to move your ribs close to your hip bones. You're not gonna move anything, just have the sensation that you move your ribs to the hip bones and you squeeze your glutes and gently the sensation to press your lower back against your fingers. There are no more fingers, but the sensation. And maintaining that contraction, you're gonna breathe in to prepare and breathe out as you slide your foot on the ground and extend the leg on the floor. One leg, right leg. So you can see it's less dramatic, the change and the movement in your hips. Maintaining your glutes engaged and the sensation to move your ribs close to your hip bones, like you want to do a crunch, but you don't do it, just the sensation. We're gonna slide the left foot and extend the left foot. As well with the sensation to gently press your fingers, your imaginary fingers, because there are no more. So there is a huge difference as we did at the beginning. At the beginning, we can see the pelvis have certain movement, and with this control, we maintain the stability of the pelvis because the awareness of the core muscles. Now, keeping the same sensation, squeezing your glutes, gently the pressure of that imaginary fingers under your lower back and moving the ribs close to the hip bones. We're gonna slide the right foot and bend the right leg again, dragging from your tummy. And then we go with the left one, dragging from your tummy. Super. So as we can see, when we are extending the legs, could be our standing position. And we know there is a very tiny, the difference of the pelvis and the lower back. So it's very minimum. The change in some of us is more dramatic. Now, from where you are, we're gonna move our hands under the head and we're gonna lift the head with our hands. And we move chin to chest. With that sensation, we're gonna squeeze the glutes again, move the ribs close to your hip bones as much as you can, and gently press your feet against the ground, more with your big toes. And one more time, we feel the six-pack muscle. The six-pack muscles doesn't suck in, doesn't lift up. They connect and they engage towards to the middle line of your body, like a corset. We take a couple of breaths, breathe in, maintaining this contraction in your glutes, in your six-packs, and your feet pushing down to help us to have more stability in the knees and the hips. And we take one more deep breath. Breathe in deep through your nose, and you can breathe out through your mouth. Now, without changing the contraction you are feeling in your abs at the front and your glutes, we're gonna gently move the head down onto the ground. Slowly, slowly, slowly. And when the head reaches the ground, you're gonna move your arms beside your body, alongside your body. We're gonna bend our legs. We're gonna drag the heels a little bit closer if it's comfortable to our sit bone, and we're gonna keep the same with hips, knees, and feet. So we're gonna start with the 100, a variation of the 100. So during the course, we're gonna learn classical Pilates because it's important to have the fundamentals of the classical Pilates, which is the 40 exercises of Joseph Pilates. But those exercises require certain strength and certain flexibility. And if we don't have it and we do it, we can hurt our lower back. So we're gonna do a little variation of the 100 just to feel today different sensation in our core muscles. So from here, we're gonna come back again to gently press our fingers. We don't press onto the ground because they have that kind of fingers. Squeeze your glutes. Move the ribs close to the hip bones. The sensation to feel your tummy muscles. We're gonna move the feet together, breathe in to prepare, and breathe out. We're gonna lift the right foot and move the right knee just above your hips. If your pelvis still backwards, we completely release the contraction of the tummy. So we're gonna go one foot at a time. So breathe in to prepare, and breathe out, slowly move your right foot on the ground without any movement in your lower back and your hips. Then you feel that you are holding everything from your tummy, your glutes, and your lower back with those sensations that we were working. Now breathe in to prepare, breathe out, squeeze your glutes, move the ribs close to the hip bones, the sensation to allow us to maintain the position of the torso and lift the left foot and move the left knee just above your hip. So we go 1 foot left. Now breathe in and breathe out. Slowly we move that foot down without no change in our lower back. So we activate those 3 areas that we were talking. Your glutes, your abs at the front, and your lower back. Now breathe in to prepare again. Breathe out, we lift right foot, just moving the right knee above the hip. We keep the right leg bent. No change in the lower back. So we cannot move the knee too close, further than the hip, because you know the back starts to curve. And breathe in, slowly down, without letting the lower back arch or move the hips, arch in the back. And let's go on the left. Breathe in and breathe out, pull in. Your ribs want to join the hips just to feel your abs muscles. And then slowly down. Great. Now let's go 2 legs. So keep your knees and feet together. We concentrate. We have the sensation to moving the ribs close to the hip bones. Squeeze your glutes. And that sensation to press our fingers as they were under the back. We're going to breathe in to prepare. Hands on your hips. And breathe out. We lift both feet without that changing in the hips and the lower back. And nothing changed. We stay as we were. We move the knees just above the hips because closer to your tummy is curving the lower back. Now breathe in to prepare and breathe out slowly. No change in the lower back and the hips. We drop the feet, touch the ground with your toes only. And breathe out. We move them back again to the knees above the hips. We go up and down for 5 more. The most important is that no change in the lower back and the hips. We go breathe in. We can breathe in as we go down. Control, control, and stability. And breathe out. Remember, to maintain the pelvis in neutral, we need to maintain that sensation and move the ribs close to the hip bones to engage your 6 packs. And breathe in. Going down, touch the ground with your toes. And breathe out, move back again. Let's go the last one. Breathe in. And breathe out. This time we're going to keep the legs up. You can see me on the screen. When we understand the stability of the hips and the engagement of the core muscles, the repertoire of classic Pilates, it won't hurt our lower back. So let's from here, we lift the head, move our arms beside our body, which is the 100. In case that you feel tension in your neck, don't hold tension in your neck. Move your hands behind the head to rest your head on your hands. And we're gonna just hold here, moving closer your ribs, toes to your hip bones. If you feel comfortable, you can release your arms, just shoulders high, and we're gonna pump. As we breathe in, we pump 5 times. Breathe in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5. In, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Stop here, because here is different the position of our lower back because the head is up, but the engagement is the same. The sensation to gently press the lower back down, squeeze your glutes, and your ribs wants to move to the hip bones. So we really feel the burning in the torso. Now, if we move our hands under the head and hold the head, we're gonna breathe in to prepare, same engagement, and we're gonna extend the left leg away, and we're gonna move the right knee in without changing the sensation in our torso. Breathe in. Ribs wants to move close to the hips to maintain our pelvis position, and breathe out, extend. And that sensation to move your ribs close to your hip bones have to be all the time to work the abs and not overdo it in the lower back. And breathe in again. Legs together. Super. Breathe out, we extend the right leg. And when you feel that you are overdoing, that you feel it too much in your lower back, you engage more your glutes, that sensation to press the lower back. Let's go, breathe in to prepare, and breathe out, we extend just the leg. This is a variation of double leg stretch. Now we move the legs in, and this time move our hands under the knees, pull the legs in, and we're gonna rocking. The rockings are exercises to help to strengthen the deep muscles in our abs, which is called iliopsoas. This is what babies do. You know, babies rolling, they start to roll because they wanted to strengthen that muscle to help us to be upright. So when we are coming up, I wanted to, you cannot scoop the tummy up towards the ribs to help us to move up. And we try to roll on the soft areas of your back, not on your spine. Of course, it's more comfortable if you have kind of cushion or towel on your back, or a little bit, this kind of mats that they're a little bit thicker. Now come on to the sitting position after the next rocking. Good. So from this, move your hands just beside your beside your hips. We're gonna use the hips to push the pelvis and straight the back as much as we can. So let's activate the same. Sometimes we feel like straightening the back is by lifting our chest or moving our lower back. So let's start from the roots of the body. So we're gonna press our feet onto the ground to help us to engage the leg muscles. Now we're gonna squeeze the glutes to help us to elevate and activate the pelvic floor muscles. Now we're gonna pull your pubic bone towards your belly button, kind of this internal lifting. And at the same time, imagine that you want to move your ribs close to your hips. No movement, just the sensation. And feel how the six packs engage. Now holding that sensation, we're gonna release the arms to the front. And we're gonna do a variation of roll-up. The interesting of the course is how we're gonna modify the exercises of Pilates for everybody, but also to help us to develop ourselves, and if we want to teach as well. So from here, concentrate on your feet. Your feet are gonna push the ground. Breathe in to prepare, and breathe out. We're gonna tilt the pelvis backwards. We're gonna go backwards as far as you feel the control in your torso. We're not gonna go all the way down today. Today we're gonna gently breathe in at the bottom, and to come up, I wanted to just squeeze your glutes, pull up your tummy, and from the pelvis, we build up the spine to sit back again, but don't forget your feet are main key to help us. So imagine that somebody's holding your feet. So breathe in to prepare again. Breathe out, we tilt backwards. This is just beginning of roll-up. Halfway, just for today. Breathe in at the bottom, and here, concentrate. Squeeze your glutes, pull up your tummy, push your pelvis forward, and straight your back. Excellent. One more. Breathe in, breathe out, tilt backwards. Excellent. Then breathe in at the bottom. And here, your first movement is to push your pelvis forward, squeeze your glutes, pull up your tummy, and then. Excellent. So then we can feel how from the pelvis is when it start all the movement of the spine and all the stability. So again, it's from the core. Now during the course, we're gonna have a part which is called floor bar. The floor bar comes from ballet. So there are two ways to train in ballet. One is on the bar and one is on the floor. It depends on the areas. It could be in Russia or Cuba. And the floor is very interesting because it gives us a lot of stability in the torso to strengthen our limbs. So let's do some exercises. So you're gonna move on the side. You're gonna lie down completely on the side. Good. Now here you have two options. You can keep your head resting on your arm completely, but if it doesn't feel comfortable that, you can bend your elbow and rest your head on your hand. Make sense? Excellent. Now we're gonna extend the legs. Like if we were in a normal class of Pilates, I will put a sequence, like at first we do the climb, which is part of the Pilates repertory, and then I'm gonna do this floor bar. So from here, let me just move here so you can see it fully. Super. We're not gonna keep the hips, the legs aligned with the rest of the body because it arch our back. Let's try it. You can see the difference. The top hand, put it in place in front of your belly to avoid swinging your hips backward and forward. So move your feet aligned with your hips, like you were standing. So you feel there is a slightly arching of the back, slightly. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna move the feet tiny bit, then we can see it. Then we can see our toes, very tight. So that makes more comfortable and give us more stability. So from here, we're gonna lift the top leg just 90 degrees. Just hips high. The little toe on the ground, we're gonna kind of hook the ground with the little toe. Okay? We're gonna breathe in to prepare and breathe out. We're gonna kick forward as we flex the foot. Breathe in, we're gonna back all the way. What helps us this one? Strengthening our legs, strengthening our glutes, and mobility of the legs and the hips. But because our spine is stable, is not fighting for balance, gives us as well core control and stability. So let's go. Breathe in, breathe out. We kick as far as we can go, flexing our foot. Breathe in, point your foot, and release. Remember, this has to be connected with your breath. Breathe out, kick. Breathe in, come back. We already feel the big stretch in our leg. If our leg don't go 90 degrees, it's fine, as far as doesn't tilt the pelvis. Remember that we don't want this movement of the pelvis in any of these exercises. So we're gonna kick forward as far as we don't move the hips backwards or forward. Well done. So that is gonna help us for our glutes, our hamstrings. Let's work our inner thigh. So from here, we're gonna open our feet in this position. Let me take off my socks because they're such my mistake. So we open our toes and we hook our toes on the ground. And the other ones are pointing upwards. Yeah? So from here, we're gonna slide the foot on our leg, moving the knee towards the ceiling, and we're gonna pulse the knee towards our shoulder. We're gonna go 1, 2, 3, and then we're gonna kick with our heel away to extend our leg. Maybe our leg extend down, doesn't matter. And then from here, we're gonna squeeze the inner thigh to move the leg down. Okay, so let's start. Breathe in to prepare. Breathe out, we kick. 1, 2, 3. Breathe in, extend the leg. And breathe out, the squeeze. Breathe in to prepare. Breathe out, kick and pulse. 1, 2, 3. Breathe in as we extend. And breathe out, release. Let's go, and we can see how we work the adductors, your inner thigh. Last one. Breathe in to prepare. Breathe out, drag in. Pulse. 1, 2, 3. Breathe in, extend, or we can have an extra breath and go. The breath can be different just to help us with the effort. So we always gonna breathe out in the big efforts to help us. Super. So this is some of the exercises of floor bar. We're gonna come up. We're gonna bend our legs. So we're gonna lift the arm opposite to the legs towards the ceiling, and we're gonna just lean towards the leg, just to the mermaid, to stretch. Now here, I'm gonna turn myself so you can see. Again, if we don't maintain the stability of the pelvis, we can tilt the pelvis backwards and stretch like that. So that don't really help our muscles in the spine. So even here, still we're gonna push gently our pelvis, lift our chest bone to maintain more neutral the spine. And we don't let the pelvis tilt. We take one more deep breath. Breathe in and out. And of course, we can go to the other side. But before that, we're gonna move the legs to the front. We're gonna keep that hands position, and we're gonna place it behind our glutes. And we're gonna drop our elbows. So here, our pelvis position is changing, but let's do the same engagement, just to maintain our cores engaged. So number 1, squeeze your glutes, move your ribs close to the hip bones, the sensation, and then you feel how the abs muscles engage. And here, gently, we're gonna visualize or feel our fingers in our lower back and gently kind of pressing them. You feel how the pelvis completely changed the position. That helps us to engage the core muscles. And from here, we're gonna breathe in. We're gonna open our toes as much as possible. So you can see me. Breathe in to prepare, and breathe out. We push the heel forward, and we're gonna lift the leg as far as it's comfortable for us. We're gonna breathe in, breathe out. We're gonna cross over, try to touch your big toe, and come back. And squeeze, and come back. And 3, and 2. Don't forget your tummy. And the last one. Let's change the leg. Leg up, breathe in, breathe out, touch the toe. Breathe in, breathe out. Hard work for the inner thigh muscles, good for mobility in our hips and flexibility in our hips. And of course, if we have the core muscles engaged, our core muscles working. Super, everybody. Now release, lift one elbow and the other one. Come to the sitting pose. Keep your legs extended to the front. You can keep your feet flexed or pointed, doesn't matter. Hands beside your hips, elbows bent, shoulder relaxed. And we're gonna squeeze the glutes and relax. Squeeze, relax. Squeeze, relax. Squeeze, and relax. Let's keep them squeezed and you feel that elevation. And we just hold for 4 breaths. Now, one more time, the sensation that your ribs wants to go to the hip bones. No movement, just the sensation to feel our abs. And feel how these muscles move towards to the middle line. Very different sensation that we're used to, that we normally suck in or lift up, relax, everybody. Super. So this is pretty much what we are gonna work during the course. So let me tell you about the course. You don't mind to put your screen because I don't like to talk to the screen by itself. I feel like I'm alone in this world. So this is the way we're gonna train. So let me tell you what is about the course. So what is the content of the course? The content of the course is the classical Pilates. Classical Pilates, that means there is no variations, like there is no modern Pilates or Stop Pilates or many other brands that they're being coming in the industry, you know? So what does it mean? So Pilates only did 34 exercises. This is the only book he wrote, which is more like a manual. This is, here is Joseph Pilates. It's just like a manual. So these 34 exercises, we're gonna learn them, but we're gonna break them down. What does it mean break them down? As we did today, like a 1 leg up, 1 touch, toes touch is a breakdown for the 100. That is gonna help us to develop strength, because if we do the 100 straight away and we don't have core control, we don't have stability, we're gonna slightly arch the back. And that is gonna create problems. And that's why sometimes people say, I heard doing Pilates, which is that there is no stability for the efforts you are doing. So we need to understand that the stability of the pelvis is the main thing, and the lower back, because the lower back is very easy to hurt because you have so much mobility. So we're gonna try to understand these 34 exercises and break them down. For one, for beginners, for elderly people, for people who is recovering from some surgeries, from postnatal, which is important. And so this is going to help us this breakdown. This is one of the main things of which is Mat Pilates. Then we're going to learn the floor bar exercises and sequence, which is what we saw a little bit today. This is different exercises of ballet who has made on the floor to have the stability in the spine. They are using for dancers or ballerinas in this case. So why they do it on the floor? To have a stability in the spine and develop more strength in the legs, in the arms, in general. So that is gonna complement all this. So for example, if we have the scissors in Pilates, you don't have to do the exercise. So we have the scissors. So the scissors, so if you're like that, you can keep your hand on the ground, or you can do it with the head up, and then we go 1 leg up and 1 leg down. Let's suppose that somebody doesn't have the flexibility for 90 degrees in that leg and the stability of that low in that leg. So with the bar of the floor bar, pues we're gonna develop that flexibility. How? Simple, this exercise, which is completely different, but it's the same what we need in the legs. But in this way, give us more release in the back because gravity, we change gravity. It's different have it here and have it here. So this is the way, in this case, the floor bar exercises help us to build up strength and mobility. What is involved as well? So then we have the floor bar, which is good. As well, we're gonna learn the exercises, modify and adaptations. We talk about that. The understanding of strength. So for example, we have the exercises of Pilates, and Pilates have the push-up. So the push-up, the original push-up is gonna be from the standing position. Oh, you won't see it. You go spine roll, you walk, 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 you push up, you come back, you walk, 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 up. But aware about it, we don't have the strength for the push-ups. So that is gonna help us to understand how to develop strength. When we understand the basic of fitness, what is the basic of fitness? How the muscle grow, you know, because for example, if we have, okay, so we do 10 reps, all my class is 10 reps for 10 months. What is gonna happen there? There is no strength development because the muscle needs intensity. Makes sense? So the muscles, after the muscle have the characteristic to be adaptable. So what does mean adaptable? That after 10 reps, this is good for me, and it doesn't work harder. And the muscle needs to work harder to build up. So when we understand the basic of fitness, help us to understand how many reps, how many sequence, how many muscles group. So it doesn't come just our normal sequence of Pilates, you know, it comes more complete for our body, our whole body development. I was reading the other day, like for women's, we do weights. It's not recommended because it's too hard the training with weight training. I am a fitness instructor. I'm a gym instructor as well, and I respect a lot the industry. But there was this new research that they say like lifting weight for us is too strong, so we release too much cortisol. So, and with this, and they say the best is yoga and Pilates. No, I'm not selling that. It's something I just read. And then the important to mix our body weight training for strength training and all these exercises that we're gonna learn in the floor bar is gonna help us to build up that strength resistance or strength conditioning, but without put us under pressure, the joints, and now we know not too much release of cortisol. Because if you can realize why there are more women doing Pilates and yoga and less men, because men need testosterone, men need to lift heavy. You know what I mean? I don't want to get involved like, well, we are the same. Well, no, we are not the same. Because I saw builders work and I was like, no, I don't think so. Never gonna be there. Thank you. So, and in reality, the whole work, the hard work, physical work, boys, I don't see too many girls working hard, you know, in that fields, you know. So that's not have to be with us. We need to understand that we really train in different way, and our muscles, we don't need too much bulky muscles unless you are training for that. But we need long muscles, strong long muscles to help us to maintain the stability in our spine, protect our hips, protect our lower back and our knees. So that's why it's important, and that's why as well for Reps Island have this particular part of basics of fitness or basics of strength conditioning. Pure body weight, you know, no weights, no anything, just our own weight. Then as well, the importance of nutrition. Why the importance of nutrition is not you have to do this diet, you have to do that diet. No, what the muscle needs to grow, what the muscle doesn't need, what your brain needs, what your brain doesn't need. And then it's choice of everybody, but that gives us a very complete training and program. That's why it's a level 4 training. What level 4? Is the level 4 according to the national training qualifications. You know that it's just your certification of the living cert is level 4, no? It's level 4. Yes, and then after you do a degree, it's level 5, level 6, and stuff like that. So that's it, that's me. We have level 4, which is the highest qualification of Pilates that you can get. You can get many courses in the market, but not all have the level 4, which is the highest qualification, because have all that fitness basics, nutrition, that help us to understand more the human body and how to develop the human body. As well, we're gonna learn how to use the small Pilates equipment, which is the elastic band or the TheraBand, the small ball, the blocks, and the ring of Pilates. All of this we're gonna learn in this course how to use it. It's really important for us that we have a complete course, so then you don't have to do extra courses, because it's money-wise as well, because after we have like, another, I don't know how many hours to use the ring, another for this, which is what we did ourselves. And it's too much money, and at the end it's the same. It's the same, because you cannot teach other things. It just help you to say, well, so now we can use the ring, we can use the ball. So that's why we try to compress all this in one course. So in that way, you really feel like pretty much everything in the fitness, on the Pilates industry. Anatomy and physiology is important, no anatomy, but don't worry, it's not this boring class that you are used to about anatomy. No. It's apply anatomy. Like today, you learn your 6 packs, which is called rectus abdominis. You learn your lower back, which is your QL muscle. At the moment, it's names, that you say whatever. But when you practice, you get more familiar. And you learn as well your pelvic floor muscles. With the pelvic floor muscles is many, with the squeezing of your glutes. And when you visualize them with the books of anatomy, and during the course, we have loads of images that you can see them for real. So then it helps us to understand what we are doing, how the human body works. Why? Because if tomorrow you say, I have pain on my knees, for example, which is very common. Okay, I have pain on my knees. So when there is a pain in a joint, it can be only two ways. One, three. There's no strength, there is no flexibility, and the alignment is not correct. The alignment of the joint is not correct, because it can be an imbalance of the other two. So then immediately you say, I'm going to strengthen the quads. Which exercises help me for the quads, Or I have lower back pain. Okay, so you need to strengthen your core muscles. But first we need to understand. So you straight away know what to do with the body, because you know which areas. Like yesterday, I do personal training as well. My personal training is a mix of Pilates, yoga, fitness, everything. And my client came and said, like, Fabiola, I have a pain here, and this pain, and this pain, and this part, okay? And straight away, I knew which muscle it was, which is the tensor fasciae lata. He was not touching here, he was not touching here, he was touching on the side, okay? So because we know anatomy, apply anatomy for Pilates and yoga. So it says, is the tensor fasciae lata? What do you do? Which exercises do you do? Well, I do golfing, and I golfing that way. Okay, so it's no strength. That muscle is strong enough because it's giving the stability of the swing. So it's a stretch. Your body is too strong, it's tight, and that's when it's pulling, and it's have pain only on the side. So we say, let's do stretches for the tensor fasciae lata, for that muscle. And one class said, oh my God, I feel so much relief. I said, okay, this is your homework. Every night after you walking, after you golfing, you need to stretch that muscle. And this is the importance of learn anatomy. Discover what is the problem. Not just do Pilates for the sake of do Pilates. It's for a purpose. And as well, when we create programs, that we create a global program. There's no focus only in one area or in the other area. There's global, so then it really helps to our clients, but the most important, to ourselves. Why ourselves? Because these courses, there are many reasons why we talk these teaching training courses. But the most important is for ourselves, to know how my body, to understand how I'm gonna stand up better, sit better, walk better, move better without problems. Because the problems will come, we want it or we don't want it. Because bad posture, because I say the shoes, because as well, age. Me, I'm 48, so that's why I can call about age. Age changed the body. But We don't have to be badly. We can take care of the body if we work with it. It makes sense? So for example, if I don't do Pilates, if I don't do yoga, probably I won't have the mobility I have, and probably I won't feel as I feel. Even if I have aches and pains, but I can feel better. I can move, I can do, I can be mobile, which is important. Biomechanics and applications is what we learned today. We lift the feet up, but without moving the pelvis. So this is the biomechanics. It's not just for lift the legs, because sometimes we do exercise and we go up, down, 5, 3, 2, or whatever. And we didn't really put attention in how to maintain the stability. That is called biomechanics. And we're gonna use it in all Pilates for the body. Joints and alignment and muscles engaged is what we did today, but we're gonna do it with all the repertoire of Pilates. Benefits and contraindications, things that we need to cover for people who have bulging disc, people who have shoulder frozen shoulder, people from recovery or postnatal as well, which is important. Injuries consideration is really important, because if your joints are not aligned, if you are not using the biomechanics, you can hurt. This is 100%. Even in a push-ups, even in a plank, we can hurt if it's not properly alignment. The benefits in our body, the benefits of good nutrition, this is just general well-being for us, how to use the props, communication skills, teaching, cueing, observation, planning, and sequencing. Some of us, we don't feel too confident to teach. We feel like, no, I'm just doing for myself, and it's fine. But we need to understand that sometimes teaching to our friend, teaching to our family member, it helps us to learn more, because we really see it clearly. Oh, this is the problem. I can fix that. So this is a way to learn as well. So what we do from day one is start to break the ice, that you can talk, that you can feel confident to make mistakes, because our first class is gonna be rushed. Let me tell you, we are gonna be nervous, we're gonna forget everything, we didn't remember, we mess up, we say right, it was left, it's gonna be a mess up. Yes, but we need practice and confidence. So we need to make sure that in these courses that the people feel confident to make mistakes. And by mistakes, we learn. And that's all. Even if you say, no, but I don't want to teach, it's just for myself. Don't worry. It's still for our personal development, for our security, for our well-being. Confident, it's always welcome in our lives. So that is important, that we understand there's no, oh, let's do it and see how it's going. No, from day one, we start to do exercises to help us to, sometimes it's just read to the whole group, stuff like that. They help us to build up that confidence. So at the end of the day, we don't feel under pressure. I say already about the props of the equipment. We're gonna learn the history of Pilates and the principles of contrology, because his method is not called Pilates. His method is called contrology, and how he became popular. We're going to talk about the business, the ones who are interested to teach this, about insurance, safety, ethics, and how to promote as well, how to start your first class, or what you need for that. Assignments, this is important part. So this course, it's a high-level certification. So we have a few things. You need to fill in a course book. So it's a workbook, so we do it all together. You have very little homework. How much you need for theoretic homework of this course? Probably around 1 hour a week. So it's nothing, it's nothing. It's very little. We try to cover everything in the course because it's an ongoing assessment. During the course, it's an ongoing assessment, practice, short multi-choice quizzes. So it's all the time is playing a little bit, because the days are long and it's a lot of material. So we wanted to we always make it lighter, which is easier to learn. Then you will have, now let's go to the serious part. You have a final writing exam, a 1 hour long multiple choice. This is a requirement for Reps Ireland. So to get your certification from Reps Ireland, you need to do this. But don't worry, we will be doing small quizzes. It's not that you are they were giving you the answers, but you will be ready for that final exam. It's not like it's going to be something completely out of the nowhere, or you need to study like hours before the exam. No, it's nothing that. It's things that we've been already learning, feels or we're already kind of practicing or mocking exams, if you want to call it. So then we won't feel no stress, 100%, nobody's gonna fail. Don't worry about that. And also at the last part, you have a 40 minutes of class that you have to teach to the class, 30, 40 minutes, okay? Just to bring you to the real scenario, a real class with real people, you say it. This is important for what? Our cueing, how we tell the people to move, understand that we need to tell, okay, now we're gonna lie down, now we're gonna lift the leg, now let's prepare, breathe in to prepare, all these little cues that we need to learn, so they will help us. But as well, for that point, at the last final exams, you will have practice already. So let's, for example, we learned this weekend the 100 and variations of the 100, okay? So next week, we're gonna take a paper, and whoever who comes, okay, can you help us to teach this? So then we go little by little. And there in the part that you are gonna do programs, which is the sequencing, how to create your programs, how to create sequence. Because sometimes we go to classes, they just post, but there is no sequence, there is no connection. Sometimes we're down and then come up and then again down and then again come up, and we are all over the place. So this is important, that how we're gonna put one behind the other one after the other one. And in that time, we're gonna create programs for ourselves and for somebody else. If you don't have somebody else, you're gonna imagine that you have somebody else. But it's a practice that those programs or those classes will help you to use them at the end, so you are familiar with your class. It's not something that you have to learn last minute or your last day. So for example, we're gonna create 4-week programs or 4 classes for yourself, depending your goals. And at the end of the exam, you can teach one of those classes. You know what I mean? So you already been practiced with yourself, you already know what to do, and it's only 30 to 40 minutes. And that's all. Pre-requirements. There are no previous experiences needed, because we're gonna start from 0 as beginners. So if you have loads of experience, great. But if you have little experience, no problem. We're gonna start from 0, because it's important to learn as beginners, because it's the way we're gonna teach as well, and we're gonna as well learn the basics. So we learn all together, and maybe some of us, we're gonna have more strength, more flexibility, but then with the modifications and adaptations, we can train all together in different levels and different mobility. And that's it. And so what is the extra time you will require in this time? Your personal practice. You know what I mean? But you already do Pilates, or you do something. So then it's just gonna be now yourself. It's literally bring your best teacher home for you, because it's gonna be your personal teacher. It's a teacher who knows you what you need, what you don't need, what is best for you, what is a better adaptation for you. So then it's like, okay, the 100 is too much for my neck. So for me, I prefer to hold the head, stuff like that. So of course you will need to practice. As well, during the course, we try to tell you how to practice realistically. You know what I mean? Because they say, oh, I'm gonna do 3 hours of Pilates every week. But maybe it's not that realistic, because we're not used to train alone. And train alone is hard, because we are at home, we start to train, and then, oh, I need to put water in the plants, and then I come back. And we are like that. We're trying to make the way to don't practice. So we start to go slowly, 10 minutes. So for example, we learned something on this weekend. So I will tell you, in the next 2 weeks, just practice 10 minutes, these 3 exercises. So we start to build up that enjoyment to practice by ourselves, because sometimes we are used to have somebody to tell us, and that motivates us, because motivation is never gonna be there. It's never gonna be there. So we need to build up that kind of discipline. But it's gonna be good, because it's something for our wellness. We're gonna feel better, we're gonna stand up better. It's just completely changed. So that's it. Attendance. So we need the 90% of attendance in person for Reps Island, but in reality, life can change. You can have an emergency, you can have something happen that day, your car didn't work, whatever. So what we do is to don't put on the pressure the students. If they are missing some weekends or some days, we will send you the Zoom recording of the class. So then you can have it and you can keep going. We don't have this course online as we do with the yoga, because with the yoga, we have it all online. So the people, if they don't come, they join it. And also they have lifetime access for that course, which is great. But in Pilates, we are not having it yet. We will have it, but we need time for that. But also we can send you the recording so you can keep going. It's important that you don't lose your training. It doesn't matter if you are missing 2 weekends, you know what I mean? But that you keep going and you finish your course, and this is important. So we'll send you the recordings, you just listen them. If it's a homework, you did the homework and you keep going with the group. So don't worry about that, because we understand that they can be, sometimes can be life in the middle, a sickness or whatever happen. So your accreditation is a level 4 certification, is Reps Ireland recognized, is worldwide. As you can teach any type of Pilates. That is not really a problem. You can create your own brand if you want it. And let me see what else. And so far, I think that is all what I have. So normally we start our training at 9 o'clock. So first we practice, physical practice. We have a break, and then we have lectures or activities, depends what is on the day. But during these lectures of activities, we have breaks in the middle. So you can, and also when we are in the lectures, you can drink water, you can eat, you can snack, you can lie down, you can stretch. So it's not sitting there and listen to us. No, you can do whatever you want. So it makes the day easier. Before we were given more breaks, but the day was longer. So we say, no, it's better to short the breaks and let's go. So we start September 27 and 28. So we have 1 weekend in September, 2 weekends in October, all is in our website. 2 weekends in November. We do 1 weekend off, 1 weekend off. Why? 1 weekend a month is too long, and people start to lose interest in after 6 months. It's like, it's another month, it's another month. And in 6 months, you keep that consistency of training and working, so it helps you more to really, in 6 months, you change a habit. And your habit now is to do Pilates for yourself, with yourself. And then we have 2 weekends in December, 2 weekends in January, and 1 in February. So we start September and February, done. So it's good because the weather is bad. So we're going to be indoors in the weekends. Not much missing of the good weather. That's all. And I'm going to just see the prices. And after you have any question, if I miss something, you can see our qualifications are in our website. We're a fitness instructor, Pilates instructor, yoga instructor, TRX instructor, personal trainers. And we are, I'm 20 years in the industry. So the early bird fee is $2,100 until June 20. But you can lock the early bird by paying the deposit before the 20th of June and pay in installments the rest. So you don't have to pay the full amount before June 20. Before June 20, you need to lock your place for the early bird. So you pay the deposit of $500 and the rest and easy installments. You know what I mean? And we can talk if you need more time, it's no problem. And then after, the standard rate is $2,500. And you can pay it in 5 installments, which is $500. And all this is in our website. So basically, after this, we will send you an email and with all the details of the payment. So if you want to go ahead, just do it, because we are, oh yes, Sunday is June. Sunday is June. And so remember, June 20 is the early bird. And that's it. And don't worry, because you're gonna have your floor bar, no more courses. You're gonna learn how to use the small equipment, so you don't need to do more courses. You have cover nutrition, cover basic of fitness, so you really know what to do with your body. You will train, and the first things you just think in yourself. Don't worry about, because we have to put teaching, because it's for teaching, of course, a certification, but it's first for ourselves. you will change your life, to know what to do with your body, to know how to train with your body, to have that ability to wake up and go straight into your mat, do your training. Long term is going to say we have to build up that discipline, but it's easy to build up, and that's why it's the training for as well, to help you to build up that discipline to train for yourself. Okay, so tell me, girls, any question? Don't be afraid, ask me whatever, even if it's you think is silly, it could be the answer, the questions of many of you. So tell me, any questions? It was clear. Didra, tell me.
Do you have to get insurance then for teaching afterwards?
Yes, you need a public liability insurance. So it's pretty much the only requirement. You can do it with many companies. We do with Balance, and Balance, I think it's like 100 something a year, and it covers like 20 million or something like that. But during the course as well, we will tell you how to protect yourself, you know, how to make clearance, how to make screening forms, how to verbal screening, you know, that you protect yourselves as well. But for every place that you want to rent, or even if they invite you to an event, say, come to my corporation to teach a Pilates class, they will ask you. So just for public liability insurance. And that's why it's important that your trainings are certified, because sometimes they ask a specific training. And with Reps Ireland, because it's like the safest, because Reps Ireland is the one who is in charge of all the regulation of the fitness industry in Ireland, but as well is representative in Europe.
Perfect. Thank you.
No problem, no problem. Other question? Es que we have so many questions, to be honest. I even like it's not about related like it's just I wanted to know if it's insurance involved or stuff like that, things like that. So tell me, any other questions?
Yeah, you answered my question already, but I just wanted to make double sure, because there's one weekend I had a look at the schedule, you know, and actually one weekend in October I'm actually away that weekend, but I think you said that there'll be a recording, and so
Yes,
it's a pity,
like
you know, I took that a long time ago, so yeah,
no,
I'll be
it's no
away.
problem. That's why I was saying, like in reality, we are taking 10 weekends, okay? So it's very hard to commit 10 weekends, you know? And like I say, I have already booked, you know what I mean? So no problema, won't worry even about it. Just let us know, everybody, which is the weekend you're gonna miss. So then we can record from beginning to end, and then can send you the Zoom. And normally we send it to everybody, you know what I mean? Like, so everybody can have it, you know what I mean? We hopefully we don't have to record all the sessions, because sometimes is hard for the group. But anytime that somebody's missing, we have to record, so then you don't miss it, and then you have it. So it's no problem, and you just need to do your homework or whatever it has to be done, and just keep your practice. Other thing I forgot, during the course of the time we're gonna have the course, you're gonna have access to our online classes, so you can practice in our online platform. As soon as you do the first deposit, we give you the access. That's the only thing. So you will have support, some ideas to practice, some ideas for your classes as well. Why not? Because at the beginning, of course, we need to copy. You know what I mean? We don't have after years of practice, after years of doing sequencing, then we come with our own sequence. But for the moment, we need to take bits and bits for different people. But yes, no problem. Even if it's more than we can, it's okay.
Okay,
Super.
thanks.
Other question, guys? It's important your questions. Don't think like, oh, my question is very silly. No, it's really important, because like I said, maybe one question, it will be for many of others, something else.
How often do you run those courses? It's once a year, let's say.
Once a year.
This from September until February, and then the following one doesn't start straight away, is it?
No, in September. So basically what we do September to February, we do the Pilates, and then we do January to June yoga. So we are quite busy. So you don't have time. We don't have too many weekends during the year. So that's why. So we just do once a year.
Okay.
That's it. All clear? Tell me, Cynthia.
Yes, I wanted to ask you about this workbook, or how did you call it? Workbook, or how does it work?
Okay, give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna bring you the one of yoga because I don't have one of Pilates,
Yeah.
but I have the one of yoga. So it's pretty much like this, not too much like this, but for example, we will have, let's suppose that we have cat and cow. Well, this is not for Pilates. So you have the safety points, modifications and adaptations, main muscles involved, muscles contracting, benefits, contraindications. And in this part is blank and they say set up. So what are the indications you have to do? You know what I mean? Like a come on all fours. And that is what you have to feel only. Then, for example, here is different. We have this one, alignment, postural alignment. So then we have all the information, and then you have here like a mention 3 useful tips to support the good alignment of the skeletal system. And from those 2 pages, this is what you have to feel. But we do it during the lectures. It makes sense. So it's gonna be your how to say the place that you are
Bible.
Let's call it like that. It's gonna be your manual, but also it's gonna be your your manual, like you're gonna have all the information of the course. But to feel it is like that. I saw now you're in the chat. I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna leave now. Thank you, Fiona. She leave. Say I have to leave also. Thank you very much. So is Maureen. She left as well. Okay. So it's basically that. So it's not really like a big writing. It's something that is like a workbook that we can.
There's not much writing. That's what I was concerned.
Sorry?
There's not much writing.
No. It's very tiny. It's very, like I say, from that part you might use 1 hour every week. You know what I mean? In case they will let
so
some
this
homework.
is like homeworks. They're like homeworks.
Normally we feel it here, but for example, if you are gonna have 1 sequence, you might do it as a homework. But normally we do it during the lectures. You know, we feel it during the lectures. So it's not
do we
too
have
much.
to take also notes?
If you want, yes. Yeah, sometimes are good, you know, because some things are there in the moment. So it's good to take notes, you know, but normally you have all the information in this manual.
In there.
All the information. So it's very little what you feel, you know, really little, very little. But yes, it's just to more like the setups or things like that, you know, of the poses. But all the rest information is already, it's like a book. It's pretty much a book. But we do little quizzes because that will help us for the final exam. You know what I mean?
Exam, yep.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay. Oh, no, this is from April. I think some there are all, no? Okay. Oh, no, this is others. Okay. Other question?
Well, how many people do you normally have in the course?
Pardon?
How many people would you have in the course, in the class?
We are going to accept 18 people only. 18. Yes. Okay. So that will help us to put the eyes on everybody. Okay. So then it can help us to have more awareness. So it's more personalized because we really want we want to see everybody what it needs. So then we as well, we have a specific profile. You know what I mean? Like we say, okay, for you, you need this, for you, you need this, for you, you need this, because everybody's different. So definitely in some point, it have to be very specific what are going to be, what you want to work on it or what you need to take care of it, you know? And some people have specific conditions that we need to take care. So it's important as well to have a personal profile. So it's personal attention as well.
One last question from me is, do we need to have our own mat to bring with us every time?
Yes, when you go to our website, say like a requirement books and equipment. So you have to bring the At the moment, only buy the first book if you want. The second book should be gone because still we are not sure about this book of muscles. But anyway, just book the first book. Is important. I thought it was gone, but it still is there. So what you need is one mat, one elastic band of Pilates, one Pilates circle, and one small block and a small ball. Okay. This equipment is very cheap in Amazon. You know, don't buy like the mega brand and the wow brand because it's not necessary. You know what I mean? All works the same. All works the same. So don't worry. Don't spend too much money in that equipment. You know what I mean? And that's all. Small block and one small block. So you bring your equipment with you, and then we're gonna work with them. That's the only thing you have to buy.
Aldi have blocks.
Pardon. Yes.
€6.
Yes. This is
them.
that you remember that somebody told us on Wednesday, and I've been telling to everybody.
Yeah, I got them. They're really good. €6, 2 blocks. So go get them.
And did you get the knee thing?
I didn't get the knee thing. I just thought, I'll get the thing.
I'm telling to everybody because somebody on Wednesday, two people told one in the class, another one in the morning, and I've been telling to everybody.
The movements.
Yes,
yes,
it's true. Yes, it's true. But
they have Pilates stuff right now. Yeah.
Yes. And sometimes they have like the ring, the band, so you just need to keep your eye on it. Yes, it's true.
And I have a quick question. Is it both you and Ghislaine that teaches the class on a Saturday, Sunday?
Yes. Actually, Ghislaine is your lead teacher. And Ghislaine is your lead teacher. Just he's never in the open days because he always have a class on Friday. So
he's just the power yoga. Yeah. But you do you do it as well? It's both of you doing it, but he's the lead teacher. Is that right?
Both of those. Because Ghislaine, he is more into classical Pilates and stop Pilates and anatomy. He's the main. And me, I'm all about floor bar, fitness, sequencing, programs creation. All that is in my side. But Ghislaine is gonna be one of the biggest. I don't have this because it's already on. It's digital at the moment, but at the beginning we have all like shoulders stability, hips stability. So it's different content than the yoga one. But no, Ghislaine as well is main teacher. And I'm the one who talk more. So that's why I'm in your open days. Because Ghislaine is going to be, okay, well, this is bye-bye. It's very straightforward.
Do it. Just do it.
Yes.
Thanks, Fabi. Okay.
No, thank you. Thanks. So thank you, everybody. If there is no more questions, but if you have another question, send us an email, please. And hopefully see you in September. And remember, June 20. Okay, so think about it, and we will send you all the details for the deposit. Okay, thank you, and nice to meet you, everybody. Laura, Deidre.
Thank you. See you.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye.
See you next week. Bye-bye. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.